If you don't plant these 7 crops in the next 10 days, you'll miss your entire fall harvest. I'm going to show you exactly what to plant, when to plant it, and the one mistake that kills 90% of fall gardens. Most gardeners think fall planting starts in September, but by then, it's already too late. Cool season crops need time to mature before your first frost hits, which means your planting window is rapidly closing, especially for crops that take 70, 80, even 100 days to mature. In this video, I'll walk you through 7 essential cold weather vegetables, each one carefully chosen for flavor, hardiness, and how well it performs in dropping temps. From the slow-growing Brussels sprouts that need to go in the ground now, to quick-win radishes that'll be ready in just a month, you'll get everything you need to build a thriving fall garden. Plus, I'll share one common mistake that ruins most fall gardens before they even get started and how to make sure you avoid it. Let's dive in, because time is ticking. Let's get one thing straight. Fall gardening doesn't start in fall. If you're waiting until September to plant, you're already too late. The real fall planting window for most cool season crops is late July through the first week of August. Why? Because even though these crops prefer cooler weather, they need warm soil to germinate and enough daylight to grow strong before the shorter days and colder nights arrive. Here's the key. Most of these cold season vegetables take anywhere from 45 to 100 days to mature. So, if your average first frost hits around mid-October to early November, you've only got a narrow 10-day window, ending around August 5th, to get your seeds or transplants in the ground. Miss that, and your plants will stall out. They'll struggle to mature, or worse, get wiped out by an early frost. This is where most fall gardens fail. People wait too long. They assume fall is later, but the garden clock is already ticking. Now that you know the timing, let's look at the 7 crops you absolutely need to plant before this window closes, starting with the slowest grower of them all. If you want Brussels sprouts by Thanksgiving, you need to plant them by August 5th, no exceptions. These little cabbage cousins are one of the slowest maturing fall crops, taking up to 100 days to fully develop. But here's the thing, they thrive in the cold. In fact, their flavor actually improves after a light frost, becoming sweeter and nuttier. Brussels sprouts are a classic cool season crop, but they need a head start while the soil is still warm to build up their leaf mass before the cooler weather sets in. Otherwise, they'll stay stunted, or worse, bolt at the first cold snap. Here's how to do it right. Start with transplants if you can. If you're direct sowing, do it immediately, and thin to 18 to 24 inches apart. Choose a sunny location with fertile, well-drained soil and side dress with compost or a nitrogen boost mid-season to fuel those mini cabbages. Pro tip? Stake them. These plants can get tall and top-heavy as they mature. Brussels sprouts are slow to grow but worth every day of patience if you plant them right now. Kale isn't just a trendy superfood, it's your fall garden's insurance policy. Why? Because kale is the most cold-hardy, leafy green you can grow, often surviving well into winter, even under snow. With a maturity window of 60 to 70 days, kale gives you a little more wiggle room than Brussels sprouts, but don't get too comfortable. To get lush, tender leaves before frost really sets in, you'll still want to plant by early August, especially if you're starting from seed. Direct sow in rows and thin to 12 inches apart or use transplants to save time. Kale loves loamy, well-drained soil, and it thrives in full sun but tolerates partial shade, making it incredibly versatile. Here's the bonus. Kale actually gets sweeter after a frost. That bitterness you get in summer, it disappears in cool weather. So while other plants fade, kale keeps growing stronger, richer, and more flavorful. You can harvest the outer leaves continuously, or wait and cut the whole plant. Either way, this crop will keep giving deep into the season, making it an essential for any cold weather garden. Spinach is the unsung hero of the fall garden, fast-growing, frost-tolerant, and packed with nutrients. With just 45 to 60 days to maturity, spinach is perfect if you're planting a little later or looking for quick, cold-hardy greens before winter rolls in. But don't wait too long, early August is still your best window. Spinach needs time to develop strong roots and lush leaves before the days get too short. Sow seeds directly into cool, moist soil and plant them half an inch deep, 2 inches apart in rows. Once the seedlings are up, thin to 4 to 6 inches apart. Spinach prefers rich, well-drained soil with steady moisture, and it thrives in partial shade, which helps prevent bolting during late summer warmth. Here's the magic. Spinach can handle light frosts like a champ. and some varieties even overwinter under row covers in mild climates. That means a second harvest in early spring if you play it right. Want tender baby leaves? You'll have those in as little as 30 days. Let them grow longer for full-size bunches. Spinach is fast, forgiving, and a fall favorite that delivers again and again. Carrots are the sweet payoff of any fall garden, but only if you sow them right now, before August 7th. They need roughly 10 to 12 weeks of steady growth, and cool nights during the final stretch trigger the natural sugars that make fall-harvested carrots taste like candy. Seed depth and spacing. Scatter seeds 1/4 inch deep in deep loose soil. Raised beds or well-worked ground are ideal, and keep the top inch consistently moist until germination. Carrot seedlings are tiny and can't push through crusted soil. Once they're an inch tall, thin ruthlessly to 2 inches apart. Crowded roots fork and stay stubby. Soil and feeding. Carrots crave a stone-free sandy loam with plenty of organic matter but low nitrogen. Too much gives you lush tops and skinny roots. Mix in compost, skip the high nitrogen fertilizer and go easy on fresh manure. Water and mulch. Deep water weekly to encourage long, straight roots, then mulch lightly to lock in moisture and regulate late summer heat. Here's the cool weather magic. A light frost converts starches to sugars, making late-season carrots sweeter than any store-bought bunch. Choose quick growers like Nantes, for uniform cylinders or short chantenay types if your soil is heavier. Plant now, and you'll be pulling crisp, candy-sweet carrots just as the leaves start to change. Need a quick win in your fall garden? Radishes are your best friend. These fiery little roots go from seed to harvest in as little as 30 days, which means you could plant them in early August and be harvesting your first crop before September even hits. That's why radishes are perfect for beginners, or for anyone trying to squeeze a bonus harvest into a tight fall schedule. Here's how to grow them right. Sow seeds 1/2 inch deep and 1 inch apart in rows, then thin to 2 inches once the tops sprout. They prefer loose, well-drained soil and consistent moisture. Too dry and they'll bolt, too wet, and they'll split. Radishes love cooler temperatures, so plant them as the heat starts to fade and they'll thrive. You can even do multiple plantings every 2 weeks for a steady supply throughout the season. Try classics like Cherry Belle, or go bold with heirlooms like watermelon radishes for color and crunch. Oh, and don't toss the greens. Radish tops are edible and packed with nutrients. If you're looking for speed, simplicity, and satisfaction, radishes are the ultimate fall garden win. To get both roots and greens before frost, you'll want to plant by August 7th. Lettuce isn't just a spring crop, it shines in fall, when the cooler temperatures give you crisp, sweet, tender leaves without the bitterness you get from summer heat. With a maturity window of 45 to 65 days, now is the perfect time to sow it for a continuous harvest. Want salads well into October? Plant by August 7th and stagger your plantings every 10 days to keep the greens coming. Here's how to do it right. Lettuce loves moist, fertile soil and cooler conditions, so consider giving it partial shade if temps are still high in early August. Sow seeds 1/4 inch deep, spaced about 4 to 6 inches apart depending on the variety. For baby greens you can go denser and harvest young. There are endless types to choose from. Leaf lettuce like black-seeded Simpson matures fast and is perfect for cut-and-come-again harvesting. Romaine holds up well into colder nights. Butterhead varieties offer sweet, tender hearts. Keep soil evenly moist and don't let it dry out. Even one stress cycle can trigger bolting. And the best part? You don't have to harvest all at once. With continuous picking, lettuce can keep your salad bowl full for weeks. Turnips might just be the most underrated fall vegetable, and here's why. You get 2 harvests in one. Not only do you get crisp, earthy roots in just 50 to 60 days, but the tender greens are edible too, and packed with nutrients. To get both roots and greens before frost, you'll want to plant by August 7th. These cool season champs thrive in dropping temperatures and actually taste better after a light frost, just like carrots and kale. Direct sow seeds about 1/2 inch deep and 2 inches apart, then thin to 4 inches once the seedlings emerge. Turnips prefer loose, well-drained soil with moderate fertility. Avoid too much nitrogen or you'll get lush greens and puny roots. Water regularly to keep roots from becoming woody or bitter. And don't forget to harvest the greens young. They're delicious sautéed, steamed, or tossed into soups. Looking for a quick maturing root crop? Try varieties like Hakure, a Japanese turnip that's sweet, tender, and can be eaten raw like an apple. Turnips are reliable, low maintenance, and perfect for filling those final fall garden gaps, especially if you want value for effort. Now here's the part no one tells you, but it's the number one reason most fall gardens flop. Most gardeners plant too late, or they use the wrong varieties. That's it. It's not their soil, it's not their watering, it's the clock and the crop. They treat fall planting like spring, thinking they've got all season. But fall doesn't work that way. Your daylight hours are shrinking, your soil is cooling down, and your crops need time to mature before the first hard frost. Waiting even 2 extra weeks can turn a promising crop into a stunted disappointment. And here's the kicker. Not all varieties are suited for fall. Take lettuce, for example. Spring types bolt fast in heat, but fall-friendly varieties like Winter Density or Rouge d'Ivre are bred to tolerate cooler soil and maturing days. Same goes for carrots. If you plant a slow, long-season spring type in August, it likely won't reach maturity before the cold shuts it down, but a faster-growing fall type like Nantes will hit the sweet spot right on time. So remember, timing beats technique. Even the best soil, compost, or fertilizer won't save a plant that simply doesn't have enough growing days left. Choose the right varieties and plant them now, not later. That's how you beat the frost and harvest like a pro. Now that you know what to plant and when, let's talk about how to help your fall crops thrive, even if you're short on time or starting late. First, soil prep shortcuts. Don't have time to fully amend your beds? No problem. Use this quick trick. Top dress with 1 to 2 inches of compost and mix it lightly into the top 4 to 6 inches of soil. That's enough to boost nutrients and improve moisture retention without a full till. Avoid heavy manure at this stage. Fall crops don't need heavy nitrogen, especially roots like carrots and turnips. Next, smart watering schedule. Fall crops still need water but less than summer gardens. Aim for deep watering 2 to 3 times a week depending on rainfall and soil type. Morning watering is best to avoid fungal issues as nights get cooler. Soaker hoses or drip irrigation are perfect for delivering slow, steady moisture to developing roots. Then, frost protection strategies. Early frost can sneak up fast. Keep row covers, frost blankets, or old bedsheets on standby. One quick cold snap can take out young lettuce or spinach if they're not hardened off. A floating row cover can extend your season by 2 to 4 weeks, especially for leafy greens and root crops. Bonus tip: mulch after seedlings are established. It'll help retain moisture, suppress weeds, and keep soil temperatures stable. With just a few small steps, your fall crops can go from last minute to thriving all season long, even when the weather turns. So there you have it, 7 essential crops you need to plant right now if you want a fall harvest worth bragging about. From slow-maturing Brussels sprouts to quick-growing radishes, every single crop on this list is a cool season champion, but only if you beat the clock. Remember, fall gardening isn't about perfection. It's about timing, smart choices, and giving your plants the head start they need before frost creeps in. Most people miss their harvest because they wait too long or use the wrong varieties. Don't let that be you. If you found this guide helpful, give this video a thumbs up so it reaches more fall gardeners. Drop a comment below and let me know what you're planting this season, or if you've got a favorite fall crop I didn't mention. And hey, if you want more garden tips tailored to each season, or you're looking to grow more food with less stress, subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching and happy planting. Your fall harvest starts today. Let's grow it together.